How are you with your time and your time management? Do you wish you had a magic 8 ball that would allow you to just know what to get done and when and what, so you could avoid struggle and things that are difficult? And how about all that stuff that you do you find out later is a waste of your time? You wish you hadn't spent any time on it because it was either not necessary or it didn't accomplish what you really wanted it to. Well, I'm here to give you a very, very special practice today that has really saved me, created such a level of flow where things are easy and there's no struggle. And it is so powerful that I guarantee you will have way more time once you begin to use it. This is Zen in a Moment. It's a podcast where you can learn to train your brain to stop stressing forever and be the cool, awesome, fabulous person you know you can be. I provide tips and strategies that move you from stressed out to in the flow. Flow meaning feeling light, open, and wise. And I'm your host, Zen Cryer DeBrook, stress as guidance expert. All right. So if you've been listening to my podcast, you know that this is all about using your internal guidance system, that beautiful, extraordinary, divine connection inside of you that you were born with. If you don't know what your internal guidance system is, if this is the first time that you've listened to this podcast, please go to zeninamoment.com, and on the homepage, there is a video where I walk you through feeling your internal guidance system for yourself. It's a physical thing that you can feel. Now, here's the thing that's really important. This is a divine time management tool. And what I mean by that is it literally pays attention. Your internal guidance system pays attention to every aspect of your life, and it will guide you through an expanded feeling or that contracted, closed feeling to what is yours to do next, and then next, and then next. It is this fabulous little time management traffic cop that says it's time for you to take a nap, or do the laundry, or skip the laundry today and go have fun with your kids, or don't have fun with your kids today. You need to put that aside and get these other things done that are on your to-do list so that tomorrow those things will be done and the new things that are coming in you can focus on. It has this way in which it literally shares with you through this expansion and contraction what to do. Now, here's how you get attuned to using it. What I recommend is that you write out your to-do list in the morning. And it's in the beginning, it's really good to write it out. Eventually, this will just become the way you manage your life. But you write out your to-do list in the morning. And then you sit and you do the feet, hands exercise that I tuned you into when I first showed you how your IGS works, right? So you feel your feet. You're just sitting wherever you are. You feel your feet. Feel the palms of your hands. Listen to the room around you. And you wait until your mind is quiet. And then what you do is you go and you take the items on your list one by one, and you think about getting that done today. And if you feel an expanded feeling, you put a little O by that. If you feel no feeling, you put an N or a neutral. That means there's no decision to be made on that just in this moment. And if you feel a closed or a tightening sensation, you put a C. The things that are opening you, that you have a little O by, that create that expanded feeling, those are the things that you need to be focusing on today. Okay? And the things that are neutral, just put aside and see what happens. Usually they just kind of automatically get done. So for instance, that would look like you need to make a series of phone calls, and those 3 calls that you need to make, they call you, or they contact you and set up a time to talk that's going to work for them. It just somehow kind of works out for the best of everyone. Those ends usually do, or they drop off your list. The things that close you to do, and some of them may seem crazy, like you feel like you need to do them and you're closed and you can't believe you don't need to do them. And they're things that your mind will tell you, I must get this done. Those things don't need to get done. In fact, if you try to get something that's closing you done, what you will find is it will be a struggle. You won't have the supplies that you need. You won't have the resources that you need, the people or the time or whatever. Your computer will break down, or you'll hit traffic. It will just not work out. Now, that doesn't mean that because you're closed to something that you don't need to ever do it. It just doesn't need to be done today. So I'm one of these people who likes to get everything done. I'll have a whole list of things that I like to get done before I go on vacation. I like to come home with as much off my list so that I come back and extend my vacation joy as long as I possibly can. Now, what this does have a tendency to do, though, and you may have heard me talk about this before, is create some stress in my life because I have all these ideas in my head about what I want to get done. And this practice allows me to let them go. Let go what doesn't need to be done and really focus on what does. Now, a lot of people will say to me, well, if I just did what opened me Zen, what felt good in my internal guidance system, then I would never do things like my taxes or exercise or contact certain people in my life that I know I need to keep in contact with, but are just really not that pleasant to keep in contact with. Well, here's the thing. If it opens you, number one, it will be pleasant, the experience. But number two, there is divine timing. Every single thing in your life, from doing your taxes to cleaning out your closets and your refrigerator, okay, to making those difficult phone calls, all get done. And the things that are in your mind that you think you need to get done, very often these look like business plans or doing your taxes early instead of in October, those things actually are not true. The things that you feel like you must get done, sometimes it's a story that our mind is keeping in the mix. Another thing that's really important for you to know about this practice is that there is, like I said, such a thing as divine timing, which means if you wait, then the time can pass. So if you get an urge to call someone and then you wait 2 hours in order to do that, or you have an urge to go take a 30-minute nap, right? And you wait to go take that nap. It opens you to go take that nap. And you wait, the time will pass. You will not get your nap, or you'll close. This is incredibly important when in relationship to like sales in business and difficult conversations, or people that you've been trying to reach and they are not easy to reach, for instance, or even just hitting somebody up at the right time. I remember there was a situation where I was looking at purchasing something from someone, and we had been kind of going back and forth over the price and the conditions of the sale, and I just got this opening all of a sudden to call them up and talk about it. And they had just gotten this information in their life that made it really super easy. They're like, oh yeah, I'm not worried about it anymore. Let's just go ahead and close this up. And the timing was perfect, where if I had called an hour earlier or possibly even an hour later, they may not have been in that position where they felt so reasonable about things. So this is a really, really, really powerful tool. And some of the things on your list will drop off forever. There are some things that you think you need to do that just will never get done, and they're not important to get done. They're just not yours to do, or there's something coming up. One of the examples that I have on that is that I had a student who was trying to figure out her flights. And you know how it is when you're booking airline flights, right? It's like you need to book them in a certain amount in time in advance, otherwise you lose the discount. And she was trying to book her flights, but she couldn't. Every time she'd go to book her flight, she'd close. And so she just let it go. Her mind was telling her, I need to book these flights. I need to book these flights. I need to book these flights. And then she got a call from her sister who said, hey, we're going to have a party for Dad. And she had already been planning on visiting her family before she went on this trip. And it turns out that if she had booked her flights, she would have missed the party because they were having the party on the back end of her trip. And as soon as she found the information that came through about her dad's birthday party being on the week after her trip was being planned, she felt an opening to go book the flights, and everything was there. So sometimes you may be called to not do something because you're missing information. All the pieces aren't there. You're going to learn, after using your internal guidance system over a period of time, you're going to learn to trust it. It'll become clear to you that it's accurate over and over and over again. So just try this practice. Over time, it'll become something that you just naturally drop in and do throughout your day without a list. But for now, the list really helps. This is Zen in a Moment, and I am super excited about you listening, and I'm hoping that it's really making an impact on your life the way that the internal guidance system makes on mine. I would love, love, love for you to share this information. Please, please forward this email, forward the podcast, grab the link out of the URL bar if you're looking at us on one of the podcasting networks out there, and send it to some friends that you think could use some ease and joy and happiness in their life. I want to spread the word that we have the option to move our thoughts into opening and feel happy and relaxed and excited about our lives every day. In the meantime, comment below. I'd love to know if you have any tips or tricks on your time management, or if you have any questions. I love to answer questions, so please, please, please ask me your questions in the comments below. All right, until I get to be with you again, I'm sending you love and blessings.